G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to the Day's Toy Review. And today, let's go wild. And yes, I've got a safari dinosaur themed Jeep type thing. And we've also got a train, which is also a themed train. I think it's from Japan. I think it's the Ashiyama Zoo train. It's the Tomy Playmo one. I think it's from Hokkaido, going by the looks of it. And 4, yes, I said 4 flip-flop products. And it's definitely not the first time I've decided to try and review more than 3 or 2 flip-flop products. What a world, yeah. Anyways, with my room being all completely cramped because of all this mess I'm surrounding at the moment, oh my crikeys, how am I going to really deal with such a goddamn toy review? At this point, it almost feels like it's going to become a little bit too hard. Right, I'm going to throw these goddamn slippers, gently of course, whoa! Without something that's totally a spoiler alert. Right, let me go ahead and start with what looks like to be quite a few Flapping Birds themed products. I've actually got about 2 flip-flop origami Flapping Birds themed products. I haven't really reviewed these. I should have reviewed those from like, you know, any part of the week. Oh, it looks like we've got a bit of damage from that product. I'll go ahead and add some super glue. Don't you worry, I'll try and fix it. I'm like so. Right, so the first 2 products that we've got are a couple of flip-flop origami Flapping Birds products. We've got the American Woodstock Fishing Flock 12-pack, which costs about £17. And then we've also got a much more expensive one called the Asian Swan Goose Flock at Vegetated Lake 12-pack. And that one costs about £20, but it's a much nicer and neatly packaged product compared to the Woodstock, which is what I'm going to be reviewing first. That is the back of the packaging, which looks like that. Okay, so you get 1 frog. For some strange reason, we've got a fish, which looks like it's got a bit of a sticker sort of eye. Bit strange, isn't it? And then we've got 3. Yes, we've got 3 fish. 1 snake, which is kind of interesting. Whoever thought I was going to be putting a snake in this toy review would be strange. We've got an American bullfrog and a single lily pad. And let's not forget the Flapping Birds, which is what we're looking at for the Woodstock. Nice to see. And I also love that goofy looking peacock bass. Oh wow. I'll tell you what, they actually kind of remind me of peacock, oh sorry, the peacock basses that they seem to resemble, almost look a little bit like tilapia. I'll talk about tilapia later on, because hey, this packaging has started to unpack all by itself sooner than or later. Okay, let's see what we've got. Right, we've got some fish, we've got some birds, we've got a snake. Right, so we've got 3 fish, which is what they're supposed to be based upon. Not liking too much in the way that there's a bit of brown, I suppose, could have gone for more in the way of red, but it doesn't matter, I suppose, Yes, we've got some reddish, brownish looking colours of stripes and the lower fin at the bottom, I think. And then we've also got some eyes, very nicely detailed looking eyes, and they're completely green with a hint of yellow, which is very. Next up, we've also got a lily pad and a little American bullfrog. Haven't thought an American bullfrog coming to life, which just a standard looking frog. To me, it looks a little bit more like a turtle than a frog, going by the appearance of this design. But nevertheless, hey, guess what? You know, it's not the baddest of all of the products I've reviewed. Somehow it doesn't look too bad in the way it's been rendered. Maybe that bottom part is probably its mouth, lower mandible, whatever we're going to call it. And then we've also got a snake, which for some reason looks a little bit more like an earthworm. But then, hey, going by the repetitive folds that this model has got, it's just a small snake. But nevertheless, hey, guess what? The reason why the snake is small is not only you have to contrast with the American bullfrog being much more larger. Do you think they're constricted? Yes, even though it's quite a bit big, that frog. Yeah, even though that snake is small, it would probably eat the frog all by itself. Totally. And then, what's even more important is, of course, the Flapping Birds, the white Woodstalks. I want the European white stork, but these are the Woodstalks, which are probably the one of the few stork species to be found only in the Americas. I think it's probably the only stork species to be found in the Americas. I might be totally wrong, but that's what they are. the woolly stork. Is it the woolly stork or is it the Sorry, they're called wood storks. Sorry, I initially thought, oh, is it the woody stork or woolly stork? I don't know. Sorry, I'm just talking badly, but yes, this is the American wood stork. I think that's what they're called. They've got like big brown eyes and very weird looking paint. Some of which is transitioning to a bit more of grey, which is not that great. See what I did there, eh? And then we've also got another wood stork, American wood stork. Lovely in how these birds flap like so. It's just a plain white looking bird. To me, it has the same appearance as the white-bellied sea eagle. Going by the colours and things like that. We've got a bit of a beak detailing right here. We've got like brown on top, grey on the bottom. As funny as it sounds, I didn't put any black. And what's even more funny is that these birds also remind me of larger versions of, you guessed it, the Australian counterpart, the white ibis, also known as the bin chicken. Although, hang on, we've got a bit of a Jeep hold back up sort of problem, I think. Yeah, that Jurassic World, Jurassic Dino themed Jeep has been holding up a bit. I can't even talk properly when there's other things going on here, eh? So yes, we've got these wood storks, which are quite nice. Who knows? Does any American ornithologist might tell the differences between a wood stork versus a sandhill crane or a whooping crane or any other long-necked bird, which is just quite huge, like, you know, a great blue heron? I know there's a ornithologist who would probably tell me about it. That looks pretty cool. Looks very, very nice. Fancy that. And the other one. The designs do look very much varied, but then of course, yes, we do have levels of sloppiness. That also include colours which are, you know, not appropriate. Like this one here looks like it's started to bleed. Why are we getting... Why is my tablet just keeps on freezing all the time? It just likes to jump up from one to the other, which is annoying. Anyway, so yes, we've got these bits here, which is... It's not that good, isn't it, when you have paint just invading personal bits of space. Anyways, let's move on to the next flip-out product, which is, of course, the Swan Goose product. And as I said earlier before, maybe I'll probably put the snake on the stork's beak. I'll probably give you an illustration why it's there to represent a bit of scaling. So you might be thinking that this bird is smaller than that snake. Nah, you're wrong. That snake is totally smaller than that bird. Right, I'm just going to put away and let's move on to the next product, which is of course the Flip-Flop Origami Asian Swan Goose Flock or Geese at Vegetated Lake 12 pack. I was thinking of a very specific Chinese lake, and we've got a Jeep problem. Again, I wonder what's going on with that Jurassic Jeep. Why is it not back onto the weird chicanery type thing? That weird drifting chicanery thing. Right, okay, so this £20 product, this is one of the other Flip-Flop Origami Flapping Birds products that I've just made. Why can't I talk properly? I feel like I'm just going in a complete loop zone, and I just thinking maybe this video is not really well worth it to try and make publicity of my mouth. It's like I'm just speaking, and then all of a sudden, I used to talk better, but then all of a sudden, hey, it's like when I'm just interpolated by other people's accents, it's kind of a bit annoying, isn't it? Anyways, I hope I don't get broken accent syndrome. Anyways, so we've got 6 Flapping Birds. At least they've got the anatomy of the Flapping Birds toy range. What's even more disappointing is, yeah, there's not much going around here, other than the fact they've also got pull their tails to make their wings flap, which is actually more correlating to the Flapping Birds rather than the koi catfish. I would have preferred if there was some sort of borderline square rectangular thing to try and separate whatever I'm talking about. Right, so we've got some koi catfish, a couple of duckweeds and pondweeds. Yeah, what you get for your money? Let's go ahead and take a look at this beast and see what we get. Hopefully it's not that bland. Ooh, yes. It's a much nicer sort of packaging, of course. I love how everything's all being packed. And let's see. So we've got the Asian Swan Goose, which is what it's meant to represent. I think they're found from, like, you know, Central Asia and China and Mongolia and places like that. But yes, this is the wild version. I think they're more endangered than the domestic counterparts. And then there's the other side here, and I think that Jeep has taken a dive again. I would have preferred as if
Yeah, my only criticism is definitely the shade of yellow. I would have preferred it as if it was more of a creamy, buffy sort of yellow. And then we're also getting other colour interpolations like... And we've got an ice cream van that's taking over the video. Yes, we've got the ice cream van that's right in the neighbourhood right here. It usually occurs when the weather is nice and settled and warm. And yes, I tell you what, that ice cream van has decided to take over my video. It's probably the same one that I had when I was living in Northfield, wasn't it? Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and put that. Good. Okay, at least it's back on now. Right, that ice cream van, is it going to bail out after ordering ice cream? Or what? Who the hell has ever thought that, yes, even though the weather's gone a little bit cooler, there's ice cream money to be made? Ice, baby. Well, not this time, I'm afraid. Well, let's go back to the geese without straightforward having a bit of a gaggle. See what I did there? Right, and again, the Jeep has decided to... Yeah, it just keeps on coming out. I think I didn't put any rocks. Bit strange, isn't it? Right. Okay. So, as the ice cream van has now decided to bail out because no one has decided to purchase ice cream because obviously the weather's a lot cooler, time for me to go ahead and start. And Safari Jeep is... It's stuck. I wonder what's going on here, eh? Right, so with a few mishaps along the way, eh? Okay, so we've got the swan goose. I mean, what in the bloody hell am I doing here at the moment? It's like I'm having an existential crisis doing videos on YouTube. Dang it, do I feel like I want to reverse again? I don't know. I feel like I want to. Okay, at least I'm double checking on that Safari dinosaur themed Jeep. Okay, so yes, the swan geese, yes, I would have preferred as if, you know, the yellow shading was a little bit more lighter. Although I do see a bit of bleaches of different colours. There's a bit of bleaching of colours. I think this one here is more appropriate. Although I'm starting to see a little bit of yellow intrusively protruding, well, actually penetrating towards other areas, which I think, yeah, I would say otherwise. This one's got a bit of a broken wing syndrome. That's not that great. Have you been feeding too much bread? Yes, it looks like that this bird has, yeah, it's totally not that great. Maybe I need to flap this part again. Oh well, at least it works somehow. And then I've also got this other goose here as well. And I'll just basically flap this beast. Yeah, there are some various different shadings going on here, eh? Sometimes with bits like that, you know, sometimes it doesn't make any sense, other times it does. I don't know, maybe I'm just saying it as it is. Okay, so yes, we've got some brown paint protrusions going on here, some penetrations going on here, eh? Which is not that great, but anyways, let's take a look at what else we... Why is there a fishbone in this product? God damn it, I feel like this product has turned very fishy because you know why? We've got some koi carp. This one here is quite a bit of a skinny freak, and this one here is a fat and chubby looking one. There you go, they do share the same characteristics. It kind of reminds me of Pinky and the Brain. Or maybe Ren and Stimpy, Abbott and Costello. Both cosplaying as fishes. I mean, who knows about that? Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Just, yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at duckweed. It's basically just two cabbages that have been folded, you know, together like so. It's like one flap of it has just turned a bit smaller and has been made to look a lot more closed, to look like what duckweed would look like. Okay, and then we've also got some small bits of pondweed. Yeah, it's not the best, but I mean, that's what I've been doing so far. But let's get to the mammals of this video, because hey, we're going to be doing a division between birds and mammals. Yes, starting with, I think to finish off our American themed tour, we've got some Phil domestic pigs. It's a flip-flop origami 12-pound 12-pack. It's called the Phil domestic pigs and wild boars at Tilapia Swamp 12-pack. And I made that product because, hey, pigs and, well, let's just say swine have been a real problem in, well, let's just say the southern states of America. And I'll probably explain later on, but first off, we've got that Jeep going on here, eh? Oh man, let me just bring it back. I can't reload this thing well. Right, we're finally back into action with this Phil domestic pigs and wild boars at Tilapia Swamp 12-pack. there they are. That's what they all look like. They're based on pigs or wild boar. And then we've also got Nile tilapia looking fish. I'm pretty sure they have also been introduced to the US, but I might be totally wrong. I'm just keeping an eye on that Dino Jeep. Who knows, that Dino Jeep could probably fail on that exterior, well, let's just say, weird turnaround chicanery thing. The mechanism turntable is better, but yeah, that trick piece is going to be a major challenge for me to try and make videos like that on YouTube. Anyways, we've got different wild pigs or wild boar in different colours. Some of these are a little bit wild boar or warthog-like. And then this one here is probably a feral domestic pig. Let's go ahead and take a look. It's just a simple product filled with pigs. Sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Because, hey, pigs have been causing a lot of problems when they go hog wild. Get the hint? Or should I just say pun? No pun intended, obviously. Okay. I suppose it's a little bit hog to trot. Another pun of mine. Yes, we've got a few pigs. This one's got like black spots. I wonder why this pig has decided to disguise himself a little bit more like a cow. Or some sort of, I don't know, maybe a big cat. Looks quite weird, hey, when you have a pig sort of dressed up like that. It's got a very strange looking design. Yeah, it's got like brown eyes, of course. Quite weird, I suppose, eh? They're in this sort of weird golden sort of colour, I suppose, eh? And also got this one here. It's just an orange pig. I would have preferred it as if it was more of a peachy sort of coloured pig. We've also got a fully black looking pig. Now they do look delicious, don't they? But they're just toys, aren't they? They're just replicas of pigs. And then there's another pig which looks like that. It's quite funny that there's a lot of pigs involved in this product. Very nice. I feel like I should make more of these. Haven't made any other farm animals, but then hey, pigs are one of the few common ones. And yeah, it looks really, really nice. We've got a golden one here, and then we've also got a bronze or possibly like a beige brownish looking pig. Quite nice. And then we've also got some Nile tilapia. The colour variation on these guys is probably not as nice as what I'm about to see later on, I suppose, which would be a much better improvement. Yeah, that's what they're based on, Nile tilapias. And then apart from the pigs and the fish, we've also got some papaya. Very, very strange interpretation of papaya. Very delicious tropical fruits. I'm just going to go ahead and put these guys into the packaging right now because it's time for me to finish off to bless the rains down in Africa as we move away from the United States to Africa. With something very much, I feel like, yes, I'm going to do an African themed toy review later on, hopefully, after making this video. And it's this. It's the Flip Flop Water Buck Antelope Herd at Watering Hole 12 pack, which costs about £19. Not surprising. And we've got a kooky and very weird front view picture of a water head. Of course it's an antelope because you've got the horns, obviously. We've also got this fish here, which is supposed to be a much more improved version of the Nile tilapia. A much more better degree, I suppose, There's the back, which looks like that. We've also got some hair. Nice bonus, isn't it? Because it's all set in Africa, isn't it? Very, very nice. And we've got a bit of sexual dimorphism. Bits and whatnot. I actually like this one here, because it's my way of drawing it. And then this one here is definitely, these two look quite kooky. Yes, they just look a little bit too semi-realistic, but I failed to a certain degree. They look a little bit cartoonish. This one's much nicer, I think. Right, obviously we're going to go ahead and unpack this and see what we get. Right, so we've got some water bucks. I would have preferred them in a much more greyish brown colour. They look a little bit too bronze, I think. The eyes are definitely another con, because they're not white, obviously, unlike what I see in the packaging. But there's a bit of white here, right? There's also white at the back there, but it's also been submerged a bit by some brown. And yes, we've got, I think, to tell the difference, I think this is going by the horns on the head. It does look very much a male water buck looks like, and there's the other side. Something like that. And then we've also got a female. I think this is a female water buck. It's just got ears and no horns, obviously. And then this one here is probably also... Wait, is this a male or is this a female? I'm pretty sure it could be... Actually, hang on. That might be male because of the horns, I think. And this one here, I'll probably presume... If it's a male, then I'll probably presume then... I don't know. It could have a head that looks like that. I think. Maybe if I look carefully at this thing. I think this is a male. And this one here has... I'll probably presume it's a female because of the head. Looking a little bit more like a horse. And also, the head is more inside reverse folded. So I'm pretty sure the difference between these, just because of sexual dimorphism or gender dimorphism, without sussing out words that would be too rude for today's YouTube's statistics or YouTube's community guidelines and whatnot. So, the way to tell the difference is that the females have got an inside reverse and the males have got an outside reverse head. Maybe if that's correct. And then we've also got some other critters. Have we got another fish? I haven't realised I've left another fish. So, we've got two black-headed herons. We've got a yellow-eyed one, and we've also got a red-eyed one. Yes, they do look kooky and a bit quirky and also somewhat small. Okay, and then we've also got this yellow one. The red-eyed one is definitely the breeding bird. Maybe. I might be totally wrong. And it's got some Nile tilapia, which actually look much more better than that other product which had like pigs. Because I do think that the stripes gives it more character and gives it a little bit more. How much accuracy do we get on a real specimen? Because that's what they're supposed to look like. Okay, and then of course yes, we've also got a lily pad and an African lotus. Very nice. Right, it's time for me to pack away. Well, actually, before I should pack away, let's take a look at the colours of the water buck. It looks very, very nice. There's lion's prose on these, and you know, crocodiles or any critters like that will probably eat those goddamn things. I've got a lot of African-themed content coming along the way. Stay tuned. If not, be prepared for some delayed videos otherwise. Looks pretty cool, that lady, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Got a few African-themed animals into the equation. How cool is that? Right, I'm just going to go ahead and put these guys away. And put them inside. Into the packaging. Because, hey, we are finally done with our toy review. And, of course, yes, hey, that's about it, isn't it? Very much about it. And if it wasn't for the Safari dinosaur-themed Jurassic Jeep, which has been caught up, being completely stranded on that chicanery piece, well, it seems like things are all back to normal now. In that case, I'm going to sign off the whole video and do other stuff, tidy up the whole mess, because obviously my dad is going to be coming to this house later on, because, hey, it's Tuesday, and I really mean why. So, if you really enjoyed in this video so far on today's toy review, if you enjoyed it, please give this video a very good like, subscribe for more for such videos in the future, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now. Although it wasn't too rough and ready, I'd say I've done a pretty good job. Ooh, I've got something to finish off here. Got an amazing Honda Civic. There you go, it's a Type R, it's some sort of sports car. Where was it gonna go or not? Do I really need that on that video? Man, I do love hearing the engine sound, but hey, never thought I could finish this video off with an actual car. Looks like it's getting a little bit slow because we've got a few cars coming into this neighborhood. Off it goes. Oh yeah, that engine has a bit of attitude, despite the hookup from the other cars. Mind you, that was definitely a bit of a filler ending. It's when I've seen it.